Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Before reciting Srimad Bhagvatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narada Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagvatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagvatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the Personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Granth Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1. The Supreme Lord is equal to everyone. So we are reading text number 26. It's a long purport, very important verse. Prabhupada is pouring his ecstasy in the form of his Bhaktivedanta purports. So we read till the point that one should be fixed upon Krishna with rapt attention. Although one can be fixed upon Krishna in any way, whether thinking oneself as enemy or anger, etc., but generally it's not a very healthy idea for bhaktas or devotees, so we should approach him in a favorable way, anukul way. So let's continue from where we stopped yesterday. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has very nicely explained the word bhayena, which means by fear. When the gopis went to Krishna in the dead of the night, they certainly feared chastisement by their relatives, their husbands, brothers and fathers, but nonetheless, not caring for their relatives, they went to Krishna. There was certainly fear, but this fear could not check their devotional service to Krishna. One should not mistakenly think that Lord Krishna must be worshipped by an inimical attitude like that of Sisupla. The injunction is anukulyasya grihanam pratikulyasya varjanam. One should give up unfavorable activities and accept only favorable conditions in devotional service. Generally, if one blasphemes the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is punished, as the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita 16.19. Tan aham dvishta kruran sansareshu naradhaman shipami ajashram ashubhan asurishva eva yonishu. There are many such injunctions. One should not try to worship Krishna unfavorably. Otherwise, he must be punished, at least for one life, to be purified. As one should not try to be killed by embracing an enemy, a tiger or a snake. One should not blaspheme the Supreme Personality of Godhead and become his enemy in order to be put into hellish life. The purpose of this verse is to emphasize that even the enemy of the Lord can be delivered, not to speak of his friend. Srimad Bhagavatam also says in many ways that one should not blaspheme Lord Vishnu through one's mind, words or actions, for a blasphemer will go to hellish life along with his forefathers. Karmana manasa vacha Yo dvishyad vishnum avyayam majjanati pitrastasya narake shashvati samaha. Okay, so I'll stop here. So the point in this section of the purport is that if even worshipping Krishna in an unfavorable way, one can get to this, the destination Sisupla God or Putana God. What to speak of one who is worshipping favorably? The idea is not to encourage others or general masses to be unfavorable in their disposition towards Krishna, but rather give the importance of understanding favorable or pratiku anukulasya grihanam. Grihana means to accept, grihan, and varjitam means to give up. So what is pratikul, which is not favorable, we should give that up. And what is favorable, we should accept it. And that's the verse often quoted for the Yukta Vairagya. This verse comes in that connection. The same applies to the worship also. Someone asks, how can I engage? You mentioned, okay, you can engage everything in Krishna's service. Someone asked a very senior devotee, how can I engage my bad desires in Krishna's service? Let's say desire to kill others or desires to loot, desire, any bad desire. So this Vaishnava replied, we can engage our bad desires in Krishna's service by giving them up. Pratikulasya varjanam and then anukulasya grihanam. Make them favorable desires. And in Vishnu Chakra Thakur is giving a totally different meaning of bhaya. That one should not worship Krishna with fear, but one should give up all fear, which is checking the spiritual progress. Like how gopis were totally fearless. What will happen, how my husband will react, how my relatives will react, how the society will react. Who cares? Is Krishna happy? Everyone happy. Of course, we cannot artificially imitate that, but that's other meaning of being fearless. And there's one more point, that if one is inimical towards the Lord, by mind, actions or words, karmana, vacha, manasa, BMW, body, mind, words, then not only that person, but even the forefathers go to hellish planets. So one should not have such disposition towards the Lord. Any other comments? Okay. Those devotees who didn't get a chance yesterday would like to read the rest of the purport in this section. Anyone who didn't read yesterday?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can I read?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I am continuing the purport. In Bhagavad Gita 16, 19 and 20, the Lord says, Tanaham dvidasha kuran samsareshu naradaman shripama jasra mashu bhanam surishaiva yonishu asurim yonimapanna mudha janmani janmani mama prapyeva konteya tato yanta adhamgatim. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are lowest among men, are cast by me into ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demoniac life, such person can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. One who blasphemes the Lord is put into a family of asuras, in which there is every chance of forgetting the service to the Lord Krishna. Further stated Bhagavad Gita in 9:11-12. Avajananti mamudha manusrim tanum ashritam param bhavam ajanato mama bhuta maheshwaram. Mudhas, rascal, blaspheme the Supreme Lord because he appears exactly like a human being. They do not know the unlimited opulence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Moghasha mogha karmano mogha janana vichetasah rakshasim asurim chaiva prakruti mohinam shritah. Anything done by those who have taken the attitude of enemies will be baffled. Moghasha. In this, if the enemies try to liberate it or to merge into the existence of Brahmana, if they desire to be elevated to the higher planetary system as a karmi, or even if they desire to return home back to Godhead, they will certainly be baffled. As for Hiranyakasipu, although he was extremely inimical toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he always thought of his son, who was a great devotee. Therefore, by the grace of his son, Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu was also delivered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hiranyakashipu chapi Bhagavan Nandayatamaha Vivakshura Tyagat Suno Prahladasya Anubhavatah. The conclusion is that one should not give up pure devotional service. For one's benefit, one should not imitate Hiranyakashipu or Sisupla. This is not the way to achieve success. So, Hare Krishna everyone. Here Prabhupada ji is explaining from the Bhagavad Gita that the person who is envious to the Lord and blaspheme the Lord, he gradually sinks into the abominable type of existence where they forgot the service to the Supreme Lord. And Krishna says that mudhas, raskala, those who blaspheme him, they are not coming back to him in this lifetime or future lifetime also. And similarly, Prabhupada ji given us the example of Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj. So in that past time also, Hiranyakashipu's son was Prahlad Maharaj, but he was not completely surrendered to the Lord, but he was always thinking. He was saying, oh, don't chant the Vishnu's name. Who is this Vishnu? So he was chanting the Vishnu's name constantly. And as the Prahlad Maharaja was given the knowledge within his mother womb by Narada Muni, he was completely attached to the Lord since his birth. So that's what the connection has given, that because of the mercy of Prahlad Maharaja, Hiranyakashipu was delivered. But at the end, Prabhupada ji is saying that we should not imitate Hiranyakashipu or Sisupla, because that is not the way to approach the Lord and achieve the success. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. I think the message is very, very clear that one should approach Krishna in a very favorable way. The way he is mentioning in the scriptures, with full absorption, with attention, And Prabhupada in so many verses, and quoting Madhvacharya, quoting Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, quoting Bhagavad Gita, etc., that the Lord is more happy when one approaches in a favorable way. So one should not imitate these. Oh, Shishupal was insulting Krishna and he got ultimately became Jai. So we cannot imitate these examples. The lesson is that even the enemy of the Lord can deliver what to speak of his friend. Prabhupada is mentioning. Okay, any other comments or questions in this text? Okay, let's read the next one. And then Kishori Mataji, you want to read, please?
Yes, Guru Dandat Pranam, everybody, Hare Krishna. Text 27. Yatha vairānubandhena martyasta yatamai miyat na tatha bhakti yogena iti me nishchita matihi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Narada Muni continued, by devotional service, one cannot achieve such intense absorption in thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as one can through enmity toward Him. That is my opinion. Purport. Srimad Narada Muni, the topmost pure devotee, praises Krishna's enemies like Sisupla because their minds are always completely absorbed in Krishna. Indeed, he thinks himself deficient in the inspiration of being feeling absorbed in Krishna consciousness. This does not mean, however, that the enemies of Krishna are more elevated than Krishna's pure devotees. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 5.205, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also thinks of himself in such a humble way. Jagai madai haite muni se papishta, puri shera kita haite muni se lagishta. I am a worse sinner than Jagai and Madhai, and I am even lower than the worms in the stool. A pure devotee always thinks himself more deficient than everyone else. If a devotee approaches Srimati Radharani to offer some service to Krishna, even Srimati Radharani thinks that the devotee is greater than she. Thus, Narad Muni says that according to his opinion, the enemies of Krishna are better situated because they are fully absorbed in thoughts of Krishna in terms of killing him. Just as a very lusty man always thinks of women in their association. The essential point in this connection is that one should be fully absorbed in thoughts of Krishna 24 hours a day. There are many devotees in Ragamarga, which is exhibited in Vrindavan, whether in Dasya Rasa, Sakhya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa or Madhurya Rasa. All the devotees of Krishna are always overwhelmed by thoughts of Krishna. When Krishna is away from Vrindavana, attending the cows in the forest, the gopis in the Madhurya Rasa are always absorbed in thoughts of how Krishna walks in the forest. The soles of his feet are so soft that the gopis would not dare keep his lotus feet on their soft breasts. Indeed, they consider their breasts a very hard place for the lotus feet of Krishna. Yet those lotus feet wander in the forest, which is full of thorny plants. The gopis are absorbed in such thoughts at home, although Krishna is away from them. Similarly, when Krishna plays with his young friends, Mother Yashoda is very much disturbed by thoughts that Krishna, because of always playing and not taking his food properly, must be getting weak. These are examples of the exalted ecstasy felt in Krishna's service as manifested in Vrindavan. This service is indirectly praised by Narad Muni in this verse. Especially for the conditioned soul, Narad Muni recommends that one somehow or other be absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, for that will save one from all the dangers of material existence. Full absorption in thought of Krishna is the highest platform of Bhakti Yoga. Such a beautiful narration of pure Bhakti. So, a couple of points strike to me, and I'll give you back quickly, Prabhu. That even Krishnadas Kaviraj, Narad Muni, they are really, really glorifying Jagai Madhai and Sisupla because they think that their mind is completely absorbed in Krishna. However, we have to understand that they are they are pure devotees, and that just like Radharani, they always think they are the lowest ones. One of the qualities of Uttamadhikari is he thinks that he is the lowest, and it is just that bhava. And when the gopis and all, Dasya Rasa, Sakhya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, Madhurya Rasa, the devotees are always overwhelmed by thoughts of Krishna. 24 hours a day they are thinking about Lord Krishna, how he may be getting, what he is doing right now, how he is doing right now, what he is feeling, what he may be feeling right now, how can I serve him right now. So this is how pure devotee is. That's what pure devotee does naturally. It's like a second. It is their main consciousness. That's why we call it Krishna consciousness. And it says in Bhagavad Gita, the thoughts of pure devotees dwell in me. Krishna says, because they are always thinking of me. And so we see this rasa. We see how gopis are always absorbed. Mother Yashoda is always absorbed. And Narada Muni recommends that somehow or other absorption in Krishna is good, but that is not the recommended thing, because there are so many dangers on that path. And like Krishna himself said just a line before that, such people who think of enimically could actually take birth in Asura family and never ever get a chance to get out. So our purpose is to follow the lineage of Narada Muni and Vrindavan Das Thakur, and to try to think of Krishna. Anyway, we can just think about Krishna 24 hours a day. Back to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. And I was just thinking, like, how can we think of Krishna all the time? I think I recently posted this one. What are Krishna's favorite fruit? It is chiku in Hindi. What is Radharani's favorite fruit? It is plum, called aloo bukhara. Same Lord Chaitanya likes bananas. Lord Nityananda or Balramji likes jamun. So these are just favorite fruits. When we love someone, when we want to love someone, we want to inquire. Oh, my friend is coming to my home. What should I cook for him or her? Then we would try to inquire, what do you like? Or my sister is coming, my mother is coming. We would try to inquire. Why? Because we love them. We want to reciprocate. So love means to hear more. So when we know about these favorite fruits, and next time we go to a grocery store and we see banana, we can be reminded of Lord Chaitanya. Oh, Lord Chaitanya likes bananas. Let me take some bananas and offer it, and when I come back home, offer it to Lord Chaitanya. Oh, Radharani likes plums. When I see plums, we can be reminded of Radharani. We can be reminded of Radharani's Dham, Varsana, Vrindavan. So in this way, these are the things a devotee tries to see the objects of this world and remember the Supreme Lord or different pastimes. On the contrary, a non-devotee, even seeing Krishna's baby form, they remember their baby. So let's see how we can dovetail our thoughts. And it all starts with more hearing, more shravan, so that we can be reminded of different pastimes of the Supreme Lord, different pastimes of the Lord's devotees. When we hear about them, when we hear about Krishna Katha, which includes the Katha of his devotees, that's how we can be absorbed. Otherwise, how will we be absorbed if we are not able to link things back to the source, that's Krishna? That's one of my thoughts, to increase our absorption, or try to increase our absorption, and that is the highest. Whatever bhakti processes we are doing is ultimately is to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. That is all the others, rules and regulations are subservient to this rule. Smartavya sapatam Vishnu vismartavya na jatuchit. And always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. All the others, sarve vidhi nished asyor etayor eva kinkara. Kinkara means servant. all the other rules and regulations are subservient to this rule, that is absorption in Krishna. Any other comments or questions? Okay, let's read the next verse. Would someone like to read who didn't read yesterday? Vipul Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 28-29. Kito Peshos Krito Rudro Kudiya Tam Anushmaran Shamra Bhayo Yogeno Bindate Tat Shurupatam Evam Krishne Bhagavati Maya Manuja Ishare Borino Uto Papo Manush Tam Apur Unuchintaya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Vijay. Translation: a grass worm confined in a hole of a wall by bee always thinks of the bee in fear and enmity, and later becomes a bee simply because of such remembrance. Similarly, if the conditioned souls somehow or other think of Krishna, who is Satchit Ananda Vigraha, they will become free from their sins. Whether thinking of him as their worshipful Lord or an enemy, because of constantly thinking of him, they will regain their spiritual bodies. Purport: in Bhagavad Gita 4.10, the Lord says, Vitarago bhayo krodha manmaya mam upastrita bhavo gana taposha putta mat bhavam agata. Being freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attain transcendental love for me. There are two ways of constantly thinking of Krishna, as a devotee and as an enemy. A devotee, of course, by his knowledge and tapasya, becomes free from fear and anger and becomes a pure devotee. Similarly, an enemy, although thinking of Krishna, inimically thinks of him constantly and also becomes purified. This is confirmed elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita 9.30, where the Lord says, Opi cheto shuduracharo bhajate mam ananno bhak sadur evasha manta bhayo sammak bhayo vasito hisha. Even if one commits the most abominable actions, if he engages in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated. A devotee undoubtedly worships the Lord with rapt attention. Similarly, if an enemy, Shudrachara, always thinks of Krishna, he also becomes a purified devotee. The example given here concerns the grass worm that becomes bee-like because of constantly thinking of the bee that forces it to enter a hole. By always thinking of the bee in fear, the grassworm starts to become a bee. This is a practical example. Lord Krishna appears within this material world for two purposes: Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam, to protect the devotees and annihilate the demons. The sadhus and devotees certainly think of the Lord, but duskritis, the demons like Kamsa and Sisupla, also think of Krishna in terms of killing him. By thinking of Krishna, both the demons and devotees attain liberation from the clutches of material Maya. This verse uses the word Maya Monuje when Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appears in his original spiritual potency, Shambhuvami Atma Maya. He is not forced to accept a form made by material nature. Therefore, the Lord is addressed as Ishvara, the controller of Maya. He is not controlled by Maya. When a demon continuously thinks of Krishna because of enmity toward him, he is certainly freed from the sinful reactions of his life. To think of Krishna in any way in terms of his name, form, qualities and paraphernalia or anything pertaining to him is beneficial for everyone. Srinatam Sha Katha Krishna Punna Shavana Kirtana. Thinking of Krishna, hearing the holy name of Krishna or hearing the pastimes of Krishna will make one pure, and then he will become a devotee. Our Krishna consciousness movement is therefore trying to introduce the system of somehow or other letting everyone hear the holy name of the Krishna and take Krishna's prasad. Thus one will gradually become a devotee and his life will be successful. So this is a very beautiful translation and purport. And now Muni continues to give the logics why the Sisupla get liberation, even being inimical towards the Lord, because he is always thinking of the Lord, though unfavorably, but Lord is so merciful. Anybody is in rapt attention, thinks about the Lord, he is getting liberated by somehow. But as a devotee, we always try to please the Lord, serve the Lord, and get involved in the Lord by remembering his name, qualities, pastime, and that way favorably we can serve the Lord and get his mercy. And here in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna in these two verses clearly says that in the first verse that actually remembering Krishna, serving Krishna, even we have some kind of attachment, fear and anger, will be purified. So that is the powerful of the Lord's name, pastimes, or taking prasad, anything, any way we can have can get the mercy from the Lord. And even someone does some abominable actions because of attachment to the Lord's name or service or devotees association, they'll also get purified ultimately. Though the demonic people, the few examples are like Hiranyakasipu, Sisupla, they could not come out of it, but still being concentrating on the Lord, though unfavorably, ultimately got liberated. And at last Prabhupada said that our Krishna ISKCON movement, Krishna consciousness movement, is trying to engage all of us somehow or other to be involved in the Lord's service activities, whether it is by hearing, chanting, dancing, even by taking prasad. In so many ways we can involve us to the service of the Lord and get purified. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So we are so blessed and fortunate to be part of Srila Prabhupada's family. Srila Prabhupada has given us so many ways to think of Krishna, depending upon one's proclivities, and someone could relish kirtan more, someone could relish book distribution more, someone could relish prasadam more. There are so many ways. Chanting, dancing, feasting, fasting, deity worship, making garlands, cleaning the temple, making different bhoga preparations, serving devotees, book distribution, prasad distributions, Rath Yatra, festivals, decorations. All these are different, musical instruments and special festivals, etc. All these are different ways to remember Krishna. So many wonderful books, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Prabhupada Lilamrit, Chaitanya Charitamrit, the deities, all these are gifts given by Srila Prabhupada. The devotees, all these are there to help us to remember Krishna. Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayet. By somehow or the other we should invest our mind in Krishna, or in anything in connection to Krishna is also transcendental. Whether it is the holy name, holy prasad, holy dham, holy Rath Yatra, festivals, books, anything. So we must do that. We must take advantage of all that. Then only, like that glassworm turns into a bumble to the bee, similarly, any devotee is trying to invest or constantly think of Krishna by any of these mediums, what will happen? This training process is going on. And antakale chamamiva smaran muktva kalevaram. One who remembers Krishna at the time of death will ultimately go back home, back to Godhead. That means thinking of transcendental, one will transcend this material world. Thinking of that supreme, Lord Krishna, one will go back to Lord Krishna's abode and attain the Satchidananda Rupa. But if we think of things of this world, totally opposite will happen. We will continue to be in this world. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. So the choice is ours. Krishna has given us a lot of options. By the mercy of the great Acharya like Prabhupada, he has even given practical ways, which we discussed just now. So we must take advantage of that and invest our mind in Krishna in so many different ways. Mind is very fickle. Mind wants variety, but there is variety available. We chant our minimum rounds, we read Bhagavatam, we serve, we cook. Even in this epidemic situation, we can still do so many activities. It's not that anything material cannot stop one's bhakti. One can chant anywhere, everywhere. We can do kirtan at home with the family. We can do deity worship. We can cook bhoga. We can honor prasadam, read Bhagavatam, hear lectures of saintly Vaishnavas, remember, discuss Krishna Katha with family. So ultimately we can do everything. The choice is ours. But training is required. If we don't train, then we will be trained by material energy. If we don't push ourselves against the flow, then we will be carried away with the direction of the flow, where the whole world is going. Any other comments anyone has? Okay, one last verse for today. Would someone like to read? It's not read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, please.
All glories to Bhagavad, Dandavat Pranam devotees. Text 30. Kamadeshad bhayat snehat yatha bhakta sharamana avashya tad agam hita bhavastad gatim gata. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Many persons have attained liberation simply by thinking of Krishna with great attention and giving up sinful activities. This great attention may be due to lusty desires, inimical feelings, fear, affection, or devotional service. I shall now explain how one receives Krishna's mercy simply by concentrating one's mind upon Him. Purport. As stated in Srimad Bhagvatam 10.33-39, Vikriditam Braja Vaduvir Idam Cha Vishnu Shraddha Navita Anushra Noat Atha Brinat Aya bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabha kamam hridagam asya apar hinati acharinadra. If a bona fide listener hears Krishna's pastime with the gopis, which seems to be lusty affairs, the lusty desires in his heart, which constitute the disease of the conditioned soul, will be vanquished and he will become most exalted devotee of the Lord. If one hears the gopis' lusty behavior with Krishna, becomes free from lusty desires. Certainly gopis who approach Krishna become free from all such desires. Similarly, Sisupla and others who were very much envious of Krishna, who constantly thought of Krishna, become free from envy. Nanda Maharaja and Mother Yashoda were fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness because of affection. When the mind is somehow or other fully absorbed in Krishna, the material part is very soon vanquished, and the spiritual part, the attraction to Krishna, becomes manifest. This indirectly confirms that if one thinks of Krishna enviously, simply because of thinking of Krishna, he becomes free from all sinful reactions, thus becomes a pure devotee. Examples of these are given in the following verse. So this verse is also a continuation of last couple of verses, like how can someone, even in, like there are so many ways, by lusty desires, inimical feelings, fear, affection, or the best way, like Prabhupada provided devotional service, Bhakti Yoga, like how can they get Krishna's mercy? And Prabhupada here provided the lusty affairs of the gopis, and when someone hears these pastimes, they can get rid of their lusty desire, like lust, material desire. And also if one hears this behavior, becomes free. And also gopis who approach Krishna, they became free of all such desires. And similarly, Sisupla, Hiranyakasipu, though they were like feelings to Krishna was inimical, envious, because they were always ready to kill Vishnu, Krishna. That's why, like, they were always thinking of Krishna. They are like meditating upon Krishna, like how they can enemy or fight with Krishna, how they can kill them. On the other side, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaja, they were also always concentrating upon Krishna because of their affection to the child. And the following verse will provide some example on this. Prabhuji, back to you. Hare Krishna. Please explain.
Thank you, Prabhu. There is an example that we need to remove the thorn with the thorn, with the transcendental thorn. So, if one has impurities, lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, delusion, when we hear Krishna's pastime, like the gopis' pure love for Krishna, it is not lust, it is pure love. Because the difference between love and lust is काम and prem. Atmendra priti ichha, tare bole काम, Krishna priti ichha, tare premanam. When the desire is to satisfy one's own senses, that is called काम or lust. But when the desire is to satisfy Krishna, that is called prem. So, by hearing about those pure pastimes, those transcendental pastimes, about the transcendental Supreme Lord and His great devotees, one can transcend the material qualities. Otherwise, thinking about material qualities or hearing about material qualities, what would happen? The lust would increase. Like if we watch romantic Hollywood or Bollywood movies, what would happen to the lust? Would it increase or decrease? It would certainly increase by watching. What did Ajamil see? Ajamil saw the woman, embracing, and his lust increased. So very simple, because if we focus our senses and on the objects of senses on the material level, then the lust would increase. Same with envy, greed, etc. If we watch fighting scenes between in a Hollywood or a Bollywood movie, lot of fighting, lot of violence, then the envy and the fighting spirit, therefore there are more guns in US than number of people, because everyone is in fighting spirit. Everyone thinks himself like a hero. Therefore the crime is increasing because of TV, because of mundane TV. But the same proclivity is engaged in thinking and remembering and focusing on Krishna's pastimes, then those very impurities will be purified. Lust, anger, greed, envy, etc. So again, the choice is ours. Hridarogam. The word used is Hridarogam. It can be vanquished when we focus by hearing Krishna Katha, or remembering those pastimes, hearing those pastimes again and again. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya heard the 7th canto especially hundreds of times. Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Lord, showing by his example as a devotee. Okay, any other comments anyone has? Any questions before we stop?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm just really inspired by this verse of how attention is very important. So sometimes we feel that we are doing great, chanting 16 rounds, following the 4 regulative principles, but we can see here that Sisupla has more attention for Krishna and he's able to go back home. So we should... So regardless of what is the reason, the highest is of course devotional service, but even when we are doing devotional service, we have to have that attention, and that is the most important part. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice observation. Rapt attention. Prabhupada is using these words in the previous verse. Very nice. Rapt attention. 100% attention for a good relation. We discuss being present. In Hindi, they say, Savdhani hati, durghatna ghati. So, even in Japa, we can relate that. So, the moment we are inattentive, or Savdhani, or inattention, then we are off track. Then we are chanting, but not chanting. So, I'm just repeating it for myself. Okay, any other comments?
Hare Krishna, this is Bhadra. Dandvat everybody. In case of the Sisupla and other demons, they are absorbed in Krishna because they know they're going to be killed. It is natural that when we are in fear situation, living entity absorbs so much into person who is going to be kill him or her. So it's like any persons, just like if there is a kingdom and there is a king, and the thief of that kingdom knows that if I'm caught, the king is going to kill me. So they absorb so much into the king. So that is the absorption of the demon. But in case of the devotees, because of that, we are bringing up in devotees. Here Narada Muni is saying in last 2-3 verses that devotee is also should absorb. He is giving the hint of the Raganuga Bhakti. But we are in the sadhana bhakti, and in sadhana bhakti, we sometimes attention is not there in chanting or in reading. When we read, also our mind is somewhere else. We chant, our mind is somewhere else. So this is part of the sadhana bhakti. But it's giving the Narada is giving a hint of the Raganuga Bhakti that ultimately we come to that, and we continue the sadhana, then we come to that Raganuga Bhakti, and then he's giving the example of the Nanda Maharaj and Jashoda and the cowherd boys and the gopis and all that will come. So it is he is giving the hint here. But in other cases, they are out of fear. Krishna Chakravarti Thakur is saying that they are out of fear. They know they're going to be killed. So they are so absorbed so much. But ultimately, Krishna is so kind that whatever enmity, whatever way they think, Krishna is so kind that he is giving them the liberation, Sayujya Mukti, whatever Mukti. So that's what it is here. So in sadhana bhakti, of course, the mind is absorbed in so many things. But if we continue practicing it, then we will come to that by gradually performing the sadhana. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So with that, we will stop here and continue tomorrow morning with the next words. Grantraj Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.